A federal judge is considering whether appointing a special master to review the documents seized from the FBI from Mar-a-Lago is necessary. Former President Trump's legal team argues an outside expert is needed to filter out any privileged documents from the FBI's investigation. The Justice Department opposes that request. The judge didn't specify when she'll make her decision. Meanwhile, the court has unsealed a detailed inventory of what federal agents seized from the former president's Florida estate. CBS News Homeland Security and Justice reporter Nicole Sganga joins me now. She's live in West Palm Beach. Nicole, thanks for joining us. What stands out to you from this newly unsealed inventory?
Yeah, so good to be with you. Looking over this new detailed inventory that was just unsealed on the docket today. And some of the things we're seeing here, magazines, newspapers, press articles, gifts, articles of clothing, books, personal items that are commingled with highly classified documents, including some documents that are marked top secret. Now, what this indicates to us, the first, we know that in general, classified documents should be kept separate and apart from unclassified. But beyond that, and we heard this from government prosecutors yesterday, but these personal items could have some evidentiary value in that they could help prosecutors further down the line make a connection between the items found and a potential target of a criminal charge. Beyond that, there's also mention here of empty folders that were found with classification banners on them. So that raises the question, why were the supposed documents with classification markings removed from those empty folders in the first place? Perhaps are there missing documents? Now, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves or speculate, but that's a real point of interest in this inventory here. Lastly, a lot of mention of gifts. And as we know from the Presidential Records Act, it's pretty clear that the National Archives would consider both documents and gifts of that nature that came from the White House, property of the federal government, of the American public, raising some questions with regard to the PRA, too.
And a lot of unanswered questions. And in the meantime, we're still awaiting the federal judge's decision on a special master. Nicole, I know you were inside the courtroom yesterday. Did we get any indication as to how the judge may rule?
Well, the judge did signal her preliminary intent to assign a special master. She did not seem to demur from that yesterday, although she gave no clear indication of which way she was being swayed. She did seem to ask a lot of questions to both Team Trump and prosecutors from the government about if there was a special master, how would we feel about having a carve-out for ODNI, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, to continue their review of highly classified documents for potential national security risks. Both sides seemed okay with that. But what we should be paying attention to now is exactly if the judge does decide on a special master, what are the specifications here? We know from their filing that the federal government would like this to be, a narrow review to focus only on attorney-client privilege, not executive privilege, and to focus only on records that were seized from the former president's office. If the special master is appointed and some of the details go beyond what the government has said they're okay with, we could see an appeal to the 11th Circuit. And by the way, if a special master is not appointed, we could also see lawyers for former President Donald Trump appeal this as well. Now, if lawyers for former President Trump were to appeal this, the Department of Justice would continue its work. Either way, although we could see a decision in a matter of hours, this matter could take a number of days or even weeks to settle.
A lot of big ifs hanging on that decision. Nicole Sganga, thanks for joining us.